G'day there folks, and welcome to some more stories from Reddit. My name is Connor and thanks for joining me today. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit like and subscribe and all that stuff, and let's get straight into it. Alrighty folks, we're all true off my chest. This one was written by user AnxiousFem12 and it's titled, My husband's childhood best friend asked me for a favour, then humiliated me in front of her family. I'm done being the bigger person. I've been sitting on this for a few days, trying to decide if I'm just being dramatic or if I've been letting too much slide for too long. So I, 30 female, have been happily married for a few years now. My husband, 31, is honestly a gem. Kind, patient, hilarious, loyal, basically everything you'd want. Which, after having an ex cheat on me with his best friend, is kind of a big deal. That relationship wrecked me for a while, but I worked hard not to drag the wreckage into something new. And my husband? Well, thankfully, my husband's never given me a single reason to question him. Until now. Maybe. I don't know. My husband and I have a great relationship, and we're pretty social and often hang out with each other's friends. I get along with almost all of his group, and they've honestly made me feel welcome. Except for her. His childhood best friend. Let's call her Claire. Claire has always been cold to me. Not outright rude, just subtle enough to make me feel crazy for noticing. You know that kind of vibe? Every time we've been in the same room, she's managed to talk around me, not to me. I tried, I really did. I've smiled, made conversation, been nothing but warm, even when she's giving me nothing to work with. She doesn't show up to group hangouts, but she'll invite him over, and he always tells me to his credit. He never goes without mentioning it, and he's never weird or secretive about her, but it still rubs me the wrong way. I've tried being friendly, I've tried small talk. Hell, I invited her to our birthdays, barbecues, engagement dinner. She bailed on all. She skipped our wedding too, and she only ever seems to reach out to him, usually when she's just been dumped and needs to talk. When I've brought it up, my husband says I'm overthinking it, that Claire is just a little odd socially. Maybe she is. Then, a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, she messaged me. She asked if I'd model for her project, totally unexpected, and I was caught off guard enough to say yes. Part of me thought maybe this is her trying to connect, maybe this was her olive branch. I even felt a little hopeful. God, I was naive. So I agreed. My husband offered to come with me since he hadn't seen her in a while and thought it'd be fun to catch up after. When we got there, her family was also involved. And from the second I walked in, it was like stepping into some passive-aggressive twilight zone. Her mum and sister kept calling my husband our son-in-law. I laugh awkwardly, think I must have misheard. It only got worse. During the shoot, came more of the snarky comments, jokes about the one that got away and some bonds never fade. Her mum at some point literally said, "We always thought Claire would end up with him, but life has its detours, I guess. Claire always imagined walking down the aisle with him, and then, it's sweet of her to fill in though. Oh, come on, I wish I was exaggerating. And Claire just kept snapping pictures, smiling, saying nothing. No, hey, cut it out. No awkward laugh, no redirect, nothing. My husband? Clearly uncomfortable. I watched him fidget through the whole thing, clear his throat a few times. He tried to change the subject or came nearby me during the shooting. He didn't say much either, just went kind of quiet. I stuck it out for an hour, let her take her photos, smiled, posed, whatever. But the whole time I felt like I was part of a social experiment and everyone else was in on the joke but me. When we got in the car, he was silent for a while, then finally said, "Sorry about all that. That was weird, right?" And honestly, I didn't even know what to say, because yeah, it was weird. It was borderline disrespectful, and the fact that he was there, saw all of it, clearly felt it too, and still didn't step in or pull the plug, it makes me feel kind of alone in this. I'm just tired of pretending this woman is harmless or just awkward. She knows exactly what she's doing. I don't want to start a huge fight, but I'm at the point where I don't want her in our lives. Not as a friend, not as a ghost in the corner of our marriage. No more bending over backwards to be the cool wife. I'm not interested in earning points with someone who clearly doesn't want me around. Anyway, thanks for letting me scream into the void for a minute. I really needed to get this out. Edit. Sorry guys, English is not my first or even second language. Sometimes it's harder to get my points and feelings across. Just to clarify a few things people were asking about. Claire is actually a photography major, and this shoot was part of her final project. I'm not a professional model or anything, but I've done some hobby modeling here and there, so when she asked if I'd help out, I thought it was a casual favour. Why at her house? Well, she comes from a wealthy family and has a fully set up photo studio in their house, which is why the shoot happened there instead of at a regular studio. I honestly thought it'd just be her and the camera, not a full audience with drinks and commentary. Additional background, I grew up in a pretty emotionally abusive household, so I think I've gotten too used to passive-aggressive comments and just sort of freeze up. Maybe that's why I didn't react more in the moment, but yeah, it definitely hit harder after the fact. I'll update you as soon as possible. Thank you for all of your comments. Well, yeah, I do notice that this tends to happen with childhood friends. Either one family or maybe both families of the kids try and matchmake them together. It's kind of weird. Surely now there's no excuses from the husband now though. He recognizes it and acknowledged it to her. Let's go to the comments. You should be telling your husband it's not weird. It's par for the course. This is just the next step in the very apparent pattern of behaviour from Claire that he's allowed to let happen, over and over. Every time he left, whether to spend time with her out of the home or over the phone, to spend time with her, she tallied that as a victory. Now it's a matter of pushing the line. How much will he allow at your expense? How easy will he forgive with a short, insincere apology if he finally says something? She's playing a long game and trying to plant ideas, and it's even better when someone else can plant the ideas too. Enter her family. This is not new. This is not weird. This is her normal behaviour toward you. Maybe his rose-coloured glasses are slipping. Girl, if there was ever a legitimate reason to start a fight, it is this. That was a bizarre power move, and your husband being a doormat allows them to humiliate you and made her think she won. You need to have a heart-to-heart with your husband, because it seems like they were together at some point, and your husband is not being honest with you. He also needs to learn to stand up for his wife, for F's sake. He absolutely should have done more. However, it sounds like this is the first time he's seen and truly understood the grasp of how whack and lame his friend and her family are. He's not only realizing you've been right, but people he really did consider close are terrible people. Borderline disrespectful? I'd hate to see what you think is actually disrespectful. Opie replies, wow, reading your comment and honestly so many others has really helped me see just how not okay that whole situation was. I think I was so used to brushing off this kind of behaviour that I didn't even realise how deeply disrespected I was. I grew up in an emotionally abusive household where snide comments and passive aggression were just part of the background noise, so when someone pulls that kind of crap now, I think a part of me automatically minimises it like, oh, I've heard worse. But reading all your reactions kind of snapped me out of that. And yeah, it hurts that my husband didn't shut it down. I've been trying to rationalise it in my head, like maybe he didn't want to escalate things because it felt like a trap, or that he's not used to being in these kinds of situations. None of that excuses it though, not even a little. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow, really talk, not brush it off, not laugh it away, just lay it all out, because at this point, I need to know where he stands. Thanks for the reality check. I needed it more than I realised. Gotta be honest, the whole modelling session photography stuff sounds 100% unbelievable. That doesn't even make sense at all. Are you a model? Is she a photographer? Why a photo shoot in their home? Why all the family members there? That's not how photo shoots work, really. Opie replies, yeah, honestly, I get why it sounds off. I probably would have side-eyed the whole thing too if I wasn't living in it real time. So no, I'm not a professional model. She just needed someone for a thesis project, and I've done a little hobby modelling here and there, so I figured it was casual enough to help out. I guess she didn't want to go through the trouble of hiring someone last minute. As for the location, Claire comes from money, like money. They'd converted part of their house into a kind of makeshift studio for her to work in, with lighting, backdrops, the whole deal. So that's where we did it, which I didn't think was too weird, until I got there and her whole family was hanging around like it was dinner theatre, drinking wine, making snide comments, just watching. It was honestly awkward as hell. I definitely wasn't expecting that. I thought it'd just be her and a camera, not a whole audience and running commentary. Right, onto an update. A quick recap for those who missed the original. My husband's childhood best friend Claire has never liked me. She skipped all invitations but invites my husband alone, avoids me in person, and still found little ways to insert herself into his life. The final straw? She asked me to model for her final photography project. I showed up thinking maybe it was a fresh start. Nope. Instead, I got publicly mocked by her family, who joked out loud that she should have been the one marrying my husband. First off, holy crap, I did not expect that post to blow up like it did. Thank you to everyone who commented, messaged, or just made me feel like I wasn't losing my mind. So many of you asked for an update, and here it is. For those wondering, no, they never dated. He had a high school crush on her over a decade ago. That's ancient history. No, I don't think he's ever cheated, emotionally or physically. He's always very open and honest. We have each other's passwords. And they barely see each other in person anymore. Maybe once every few months. We live about 2 hours away. Okay, so here's the update. Funnily enough, I didn't even get the chance to sit down and talk to my husband before something else happened. I just can't believe my life at the moment. Anyway, I was still trying to process what happened and sort through my anger towards Claire, and honestly, towards my husband too. That's when I got a message from my sister-in-law. We'll call her Madeline. I'm really close with Madeline. She's also part of the wider social circle that Claire floats around in. They're friendly, but not close. She sent me a screen recording from Claire's close friend's story with a simple WTF. It was a clip of me posing during the shoot. No music, but in the background you can clearly hear Claire's sister say Claire should have been the one to marry him. I lost it. I waited until my husband got home from work, sat him down, and showed him the video. He watched it once, then again. His whole face changed. He finally looked ticked. I could not help but think why he didn't have the same reaction there. So I laid it all out. I told him everything. Every snide comment, every time Claire made me feel small, how I'd always tried to be civil, how I never asked him to choose between us, but I was done being polite while someone consistently disrespected me. I told him, if this doesn't bother you enough to act, we've got a bigger problem. I'm not going to be in a marriage where I have to beg to be defended. I need a partner who stands up for me, and if that's not you, then I need to rethink this. He didn't argue, didn't get defensive, and I know he feels sorry. Then I showed him the Reddit post. He tried to read every comment. Some of them made him tear up. When he finished, he looked at me and said that he feels like the worst husband. He let this happen right in front of him. He is so sorry, and asked me, "What do you need from me now?" I told him straight up, this isn't just about her anymore. It's about whether or not you're willing to protect this marriage. But I'm not going to feel like I'm second place in my own relationship, so it's either me or her. So we called Claire. She picked up all cheerful, acting like nothing had happened. We brought up the video. She immediately got defensive. "Oh, come on, it was just a joke. Are you really mad over that? Seriously?" And that's when he stepped in. He said, "This isn't just about the video. It's the constant disrespect towards my wife. I didn't say anything before because I didn't want to lose your friendship, and I convinced myself you didn't mean it. But what happened at that shoot? That was disgusting. My wife came to support you, and you and your family treated her like a joke. I didn't speak up then, and I'm ashamed of that. But that ends now. I don't even know why I held on to this friendship for so long. If you can't respect my wife, you don't respect me." She laughed, literally laughed, and said, "Wow, you're really cutting me off over that girl?" Oh my god, I was ready to fight, but husband calmed me down and said to Claire, "If choosing between you and my wife ever felt like a hard decision, I wouldn't deserve her. We're not kids anymore. You need to grow up. I simply do not want to be your friend anymore. I have nothing else to say." I'm telling you, he can be a gem sometimes. But yeah, we blocked her and her entire family. Since then, he's been checking in with me, not trying to fix things, just showing up, listening, understanding. He finally sees what I've been dealing with. We've still got some healing to do, but now I know where he stands, and that changes everything for me. And to everyone who commented last time, thank you, seriously. You helped me feel like I wasn't crazy, and maybe even more importantly, you helped him finally see it too. Yeah, absolutely, and that's the kind of ending we like to see. It did sound like the husband was just completely oblivious about it in the beginning, which is a pretty common man problem, but it's great to see that when he saw the problem, he was genuinely concerned and listened to OP. And not only that, but prioritized her in the end. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe you got a similar story you'd like to share. Anyway, we're going to leave that story there and move on to the next one. Alright, jumping over to Am I the A-Hole? This one was written by user PoetryLover33, and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for using my girlfriend's high school poetry to write an amazing song? Hey guys, I just learned about this sub from my girlfriend and was hoping for some input because she won't talk to me right now. I hope she sees this and understands that she's being really dramatic right now. My girlfriend is an incredible poet. She's been writing since she was in elementary school and has won contests and awards. Well, I'm a musician, so it works out perfect. I can write good melodies and sing well, but I suck with words. My girlfriend helped me write a couple of songs last summer, and my followers loved them. I played them live too. So we moved in together in March, which seems a little soon, I know, but once the current situation hit, we said F it and had her move in with me because her parents are a-holes, like raised by narcissist status crap. Anyway, as I was helping her unpack her stuff at my place, I noticed a really old shoebox. As I started to open it, my girlfriend freaked out and snatched the box from me. I laughed, asking what was so special about it, because she was acting like she saw a ghost, and she got super defensive and told me it was, quote, bad poetry I wrote in middle school and high school that I'm only holding on to for sentimental value, but I don't want anyone to see it. I tried to convince her to let me read it, but it just made her more mad, so I dropped it. I couldn't stop being curious though. It was like that shoebox started to taunt me. I eventually waited until she went to work from home on her laptop in the spare bedroom to finally go through all the notebooks. Some of it was really cringe, yeah, but some of it was seriously just as good as her current writing. So all throughout last week, I started working on a new song based on her old poetry. The song turned out awesome, so I posted the SoundCloud link to all my social media accounts, and my fans adored it. I showed her the good reception it was getting so she could see how incredible of a teen poet she was, and she flipped the hell out. She threatened to take me to court for plagiarism if I didn't take it down right away, which I did, but now she's telling me to take down the other 2 songs she helped write because she can't look at me right now. All I did was show her how talented she's always been, and now she's messaging all of her friends looking for a couch to crash on. I really love this girl. I don't want her to leave. I've apologized, but she says I'm full of it. Hopefully some honest internet feedback will help her understand this isn't worth losing a good thing over. Am I the a-hole here, guys? I mean, bro, she didn't want you to read them. That should be the end of the story. Instead, not only did he disrespect that and read them, but he made a song about them and then posted it publicly. I mean, making the song and then showing her before it goes public is one thing, but making it public first? Come on. Let's go to the comments. Oh, sweet summer child, where do I start? Oh yeah, you're the a-hole. Quote, I hope she sees this and understands she's being really dramatic right now. Oh boy, that is not how you achieve that. You're the a-hole. She told you not to look at it, made that perfectly clear, and you waited until she turned her back so that you could disregard her wishes. It's clear you never even considered respecting her demand to privacy. You're the a-hole. You then took it one step further, took that one thing she didn't want to share even to her boyfriend, and you shared it on SoundCloud? You're the a-hole. Quick mention for the some of it was really cringe, just to bring her down a bit more. Sorry for not sugarcoating it, but you are a massive a-hole. If I were her, I would never be able to trust you ever again. This is one of the most narcissistic Am I the a-holes I've read in a long time. Again, you're the a-hole. Quote, I eventually waited until she went to work from home on her laptop in the spare bedroom to finally go through all the notebooks. You're the a-hole, Jesus effing Christ. You snooped in stuff she explicitly told you not to, and then recorded it and published it on all your social media. Quote, all I did was show her how talented she's always been. Nope, here's what you did. Teach her she can't trust you, disrespect her wishes, invade her privacy, publish her private thoughts and words without her permission, publish her words as your own. You're a huge gaping a-hole. And edit to add, do not upload the song here and further violate her and disrespect her wishes. You have to be a troll. The song doesn't matter. It could be frickin' Bohemian Rhapsody and it wouldn't even change a damn thing. And now, Opie's girlfriend found the post and commented. I normally only lurk this subreddit, but then I saw this post, and after spending the last 30 minutes seeing red because this dumpster fire of a musical genius is my pathetic now ex-boyfriend, I told him to edit that into the post, but he probably won't do it. I decided to make a throwaway account and hijack the top comment in order to get my 2 cents in. OP, you're the a-hole. I'm glad I showed you this subreddit because everyone here described you exactly as you are. A selfish narcissist who disregards my privacy just like the parents I wanted to get away from. But thankfully, my best friend, not you, has finally responded to my texts, and now her and her husband are on their way to pick me up. As you know by now, my crap is almost done being packed. Also, your song sucked. Not my cringe poetry, of course. It was that bongo drum solo that truly made me die inside. And if you re-upload that crap, you will absolutely see me in court. Delete the other 2 songs as well, or you'll hear about it from me later. Oh, and can you please clean out those damn litter boxes? Your entire apartment smells like cat turds. Kick rocks. One comment says, "You go, girl. Good on you for kicking his ass to the curb. I'm so glad that you know your boundaries and have put your foot down. You're so much better off without this a-hole dragging you down. Good luck with everything." She says, "Thank you, I appreciate it." Info, how much time did you waste with him before he showed his true colours? Curious. She says, "Sigh, more time than I care to admit." Gotcha, more than 10 seconds. My condolences. The choice may have been easy, but everything else isn't. And now the original OP makes a final edit. Well, apparently my girlfriend saw this and left a comment of her own. Her friends are going to be here in an hour. I keep telling her I'm sorry, but she's basically pretending I'm a ghost now. It kinda sucks. Yeah, deserved. Alright guys, and that's the end of that story. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Great to hear from the girlfriend in the comments, wow. Anyway guys, that's it from me today. Hope you guys enjoyed those stories. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.